Oh, the power line split. I was wondering where the left side power lines went to. I wonder how realistic this flight model is, because I could totally enjoy having one of these without killing myself. There's the power lines. Well, Sim Update 5 and DLSS 4.5 are really doing a lot of work these days. Sim Update 5 lets me really overdrive the engine, the flight sim, and then DLSS 4.5 makes up for it by creating 6 frames for every 1 frame Microsoft Flight Simulator sends. So I can get 10 frames per second and still end up with 60 frames per second. So it's fascinating. We've come to this point where the game engine is just creating keyframes, and then we're using machine learning to interpolate between them. It's really, it's ingenious, I think. I'm not a fan of the pop in on these bushes. For some reason, bushes just pop in super late. Even at OLOD 200. Wild. It's just kind of immersion breaking. I'd almost rather turn the bushes off. I'm not really even sure what purpose they serve if they're going to do that. Plants. Now all I notice is the grass popping in, but it at least pops in further out. Like, it's weird how it works. Oops. Teleport. Oh gosh. Whee. There's those mountains. Get closer to those mountains. Even though the wind's a lot blowier here. You would think that the wind would be less blowy than in the prairie, but here we are. And look at these roads. Just this road got landslided. Oh, these roads just sort of end. So the roads were here first, and then the gravel pit came later. But this is a racing track. This is a dirt track. Those are berms. Like a little dirt fish place. Oh wow, look at this. People are the real deal. Look at this. Come out here with the cross cart. Look at this. Look at that. That's so cool. That's a big berm right there. Big berm with flat top. Over. Maybe those are for hill climbing. Come out here on dirt bikes. I forget what quads are. I used to just call them quads. I just pulled my leg out of my socket next to the quad. Look at that. That's for sure an avalanche. This is like downhill. Yeah, people go down that hill or a hill climb. What is this? Let's see what this is here in Billings. It's their private land, I guess. I guess this doesn't really show names of businesses, it just shows buildings. It's not like a directory, it's not like Google Maps. It looks like jelly. Doesn't look like water, it looks like jelly. Nice little hiking hill. And I bet people ride their dirt bikes up and down it too. Oh gosh. Oops. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Crunch. Okay, come on. Right myself. Flip. He's right, come on. Come on, take me. Take me somewhere fun. Take me somewhere I can take off again. Oh. The wind's just blowing me. Oops. I'm in a tree. All it's doing is acting like a helicopter or like a parachute, not a rip. That's so funny. Okay. Let's see if I can goose it. Okay. All right. One of the nice things about the Goose is that it's actually a slower vehicle, so you can enjoy stuff like this. I did not like those rocks. Whoa. Alright, let's go out one big dogs. I am my own search and rescue team. I don't know where they went down. We're gonna go find them. Search and rescue for too long anyway. Whoa. The juice goose as much as I probably should. Because I've tried to drive it on roads instead of these back road drivers. It's not as much fun to drive on this low-res terrain. trail going through here, which is not very... Oh, I hit the rocks. Yes, we've been here before, I see. Now the trick is going to climb it. The juice goose can do anything. The mountain is unconquerable. A brake. It's got fast forward and fast reverse. Come on, dig, 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 dig. Dig, dig, dig. Dig, dig, dig. Dig, dig, dig. towards the mountains. There. Whee! Oh my gosh. It's so much more scary from here. Oh yeah, bushes are just the worst. That was the best decision I ever made. Whoa. I would think the better solution would be to, if you're trying to save memory, draw calls, is to just make the bushes more 2D, I guess. I don't really have a solution for you. Other than that, turning them off apparently is better than whatever you've chosen. Not, you know, not as a, not knocking you, I'm just saying. I love that there's a map on the dashboard. Try and get to this dirt road. Oh Lord. Oh, creek. Dirt road. Hey. Oh, it's not even a dirt road. Oh. It's a slippy. It seems to be going my way. Where? $37,000 feet. Oh, 3,700 feet. Oops. Oops. All right, let's go to Cody. We're going to run into a problem with bridges as usual. There we go. That's where we're going up that road. Hopefully it's flat and not bent. That's interesting. I thought I turned off bushes. I always thought those were bushes. Apparently they're very underground trees. Extremely misplaced trees. Would be a performance killer, all these trees that are underneath the mesh. Ooh. Oh, look at that. Oh, this is that a bear? Some solitary critter. It'll probably be up there at the top when we get back. When we get there. See, I turned off bushes. These are all trees. These are all underground trees. I find that interesting. All of this is not bushes, it's all underground trees. I find that fascinating. Now, that may be a workaround for making bushes that aren't the awful looking ones that pop in only at 10 feet away. But it kind of says to me that the developers are a little bit out of their element when it comes to placing bushes. If there's something that's not working as intended. Which is probably why they end up blocking the road a lot of places. Because they're placed in such a way that they wouldn't be blocking the road, but their trunk wouldn't be blocking the road, but their branches are because they're sinking below the level of the terrain. Oh. Oh, cool. That's a long way down. Okay, that's interesting. Well, that explains why the trees are falling through it. Whee! Okay, there we go. There's a hidden logo on the bottom. This is not as much fun falling off a road or falling off a hill as it is in cross country. However, it's probably a little more realistic. There we go. This is what the cross guard is like. Oh, reset my position. Come on. Yeah, come on. But yeah, even though the trees are sinking through, the rocks aren't. So, or maybe they are, and there should be a lot more rocks. And that's why there's so few rocks. Sprinkles of rocks rather than pow, crunch. Oh, I hope that's my bike ride. Anyway, so I gotta cross this. Can I make it on this bridge? If I can make this bridge, I'll make it anywhere. Oh, no. Yay, I made it. I think I might have to go up though, not down. Oh, that's so cool. gonna fall in the red water. No, don't fall in the water. 3, 2, 1, bonk. Okay, I'm gonna teleport up onto this bridge and then take it over. Yeah. Oh no, stuck in the quicksand. Ha! I beat you. I could have just teleported across, but no. Oh, that's a tunnel without a way around. All right. Check out Wenatchee. Whee! So I'm making this road in Assetto Corsa. And so it's been downloading GIS data, importing it, and using track tools to build this road. And this is the part that I built. And of course, I just fell off the road because it's a very hard road to drive on, which is what makes it great for Assetto Corsa, I think. Starting about right here, I think. But I've got, like guardrails and this little fence right here. And I've got guardrails here. Oh man, it's so much more hilly than the GIS data that I downloaded. Oh, yeah, this is going to be great. Can you imagine? Look, this is a circuit. I'm just going to drive this circuit. Oh, this is going to be so great. Get this in a set of course here. I just got to find the highest. I know that I have the data. There's a Blender GIS plugin that's not ideal. It's not pulling the highest resolution data. Got bounced. What was that? Oh. Oh, man. That's too bad. Oh gosh. That's why we need guardrails. This way. Oh yeah, and this is the intersection, and I have to model this intersection. It's a hard right turn onto this road, which has a bridge. That's the corner. That was nice. That was almost smooth. Oh, I can't wait to drive like the center portion of this. And this brakes. Another. And this is Route 2. It's just flat out here. Oh God, horses. Sorry. Sorry, horses. They're like deer. They just run out into the road in front of you. There's a roundabout here. It'd be fun to model. Whoa. And this is Lincoln Rock. Coming up here. In the middle of the river. This will be, I feel like this is the hardest part. A variety of buildings, but I think I can, mock it up. It's mostly warehouses anyway. But I want this to be the next, not the next, but not a replacement for it, but I want it to be kind of like LA Canyon. It's not as this is Lincoln Rock. It's just I'm only going 140, so which is like 230. 240, which is pretty fast. There's cars that come. So this is just the flat out. This is where you're racing. This is the flat out. And then that's Badlands Mountain. But if I can get like this quality of terrain or close to it with paint and nice asphalt, smooth asphalt, and guardrails and signage and better foliage. Where's my house? Oh my gosh. There we are. Oh, there we are. All right. Stuff running in the background. Microsoft Flight Simulator running in the background. And so you got those curves to like break it up. Oh gosh, no. And then this is Rondo Junction. Totally do this. This is gonna be like I call it an iconic section. And this is the technical, and this is the LA Canyons part. So this bridge is cool and all. Gosh, I made it. Yeah, so if I can get this even somewhat close, but this is going to be just so legendary. Fast car. My favorite thing is there's a Barchetta, a Ferrari Barchetta model. And ride that on the LA Canyons is a treat. So this road right here, this is the LA Canyons part. This is the part where you go, oh yeah, this is LA Canyons. But LA Canyons is almost all this, right? There's not a lot to break it up. There's not a variety of. And that's what Washington State, of all the states, it just has the most variety. Everything from ecological disaster to ecology. It's a lot of work, but I've got a whole quarter to get a rough in. I showed my professor the first part that I'd done, that hairpin outside above Wenatchee on Badger Mountain Road. And so this part right here is cool too. Ah! Whoops. This long turn right here is so sweet. It's almost a hairpin itself. Whoa. But it's a fast hairpin. Not in this particular vehicle. And what a view. And so you come out of this Columbia River Valley and you're out here in the prairie. the Palouse, as they call it. And then this iconic power line coming from, comes from Bonneville Power, or not Bonneville, from Grand Coulee Dam. This right here is my turn. So for the Assetto Corsa, so it's the water bill over here. Actually, so my idea was to go here, which I think is a good idea. So we'll block this off with like hay bales and shit and signage to say, you know, hard turn here. And then this flat out. So this is where we begin, like the more flat out bits. But this is, it's not just flat out, it's flat out with rolling hills. Which can be fun. And then here again, there's some signage and hay bales and whatnot, water containers and jersey barriers and whatnot. And this little jog here, this little chicane. That's going to be a good, that's going to be a key. So that's the Palouse section. Well, there's another Palouse section, but that's this Palouse section. And then more barriers, more signage. And then we get, oh gosh, this bad. All right. This is a nice flowy bit. Flowy hill climb, flowy drop. Trees are a lot higher. See, these trees all fell through. See this, so these trees should all be standing tall. This is a forest, not a savanna. So clearly there's a there's a serious problem in Microsoft Flight Simulator with trees falling beneath and they shouldn't be. And I know they probably are like, well, you should be flying at 1,000 feet, not trying to drive on the roads. And, you know, I get it. But also, this is not what this should look like at all. Anyway, but so modeling this is going to be great because the trees aren't going to fall through my terrain. And then this is the hilltop here, the top of Badger Mountain Road. And this is where the radio towers are. There's like a iconic string. These are right here. You can see them on the map. These are all post mailboxes. It's a string of mailboxes here. You can see some of the color from them. And then this is like mixed forest and Palouse. But it's a lot of flats with liquid chicanes, I guess maybe. This is out there, but there's enough forest here. It's kind of more LA Canyons-y. Ooh, crap. I wasn't such a bad dog. It's a lot more interesting. And it's got these two radar dishes up here. It's such a variety of scenery. Mountains in the background, prairie in the background, river in the background. And it really shows off a set of courses skies, especially pure skies. The HDR skies are pure. It just really makes them pop. You can see some good racing happening here. More Forza Horizon than these roads remind me of something I'm getting Forza. Very fast. Great scenery. Some technical bits thrown in. Keep you from falling asleep. Whoa. This is what I'm working on. If I can just get it roughed out, if I can get the terrain. Oh man. I can get the terrain in, terrain and texture, and the diffuse, the mesh and the diffuse. And then this is another sort of Palouse-y, flat, straight up, or not flat, but really hilly, straight. I think the hills are what keep it from being boring. And there's never a segments so long that that you're just like, oh, this isn't even racing. This is just holding the pedal to the floor and steering and holding the steering wheel. Bridge at the bottom of this. Oh, the bridge is out. I will put the bridge in. Model the bridge. I love these little cutouts here. I want a lot of these cutouts. And then this, so looks like it, but it's really a nicely cambered, fast turn. And I'm going to below here. Some signage there, some handles. There goes this more police. And this part right here is my favorite. There's whoop and swoop. And so this marks the top of Badger Mountain. And then this is where we came in. This is where we started. I have no idea how I'm gonna bring in that, but I think I can make it just, this sort of far away. What happened there? Oh, my reverse kicked in. I think I can load the terrain just as like really low res, and just kind of have it loaded in the background. Sierra de Cadiz has stuff like they have a lake that you can drive on, but we never crossed the river on this, so. But having this, I don't know, it's interesting. A lot of people with Assetto Corsa, original Assetto Corsa, don't have, they play it because they don't have a good PC. But it'll be cool. It'll be cool to, if you do have a nice PC. I'm worried I know that the way that Assetto Corsa, the way that Blender works, there's no way I would be able to have this entire terrain loaded all at once, right? So, and Assetto Corsa can't handle it either. So Assetto Corsa has to have it in chunks of, less than 50,000 segments or quads. And so I have to break up the terrain into segments and tile them, and then so in Blender they're all hidden except for the one that I'm working on. and then when I'm done working on one, I hide it and unhide the one next to it. So there'll have to be, a whole system. Like I'll have to have a whole workflow for working on it. There's a very few people on the internet who are working on these big maps, and I just think, of course, one of the more famous ones is Shutoko Revival Project, which is just it's all city, so it's way more complex than this. Like the work that they do there is just so next level. But being able to realize this road, this beautiful road that I'm sure people go drive on just for kicks. I'm gonna go this way on it, do the reverse route. Have that be the start-finish line. I think it's interesting enough to hold people's attention, and challenging enough that it'll make for some, not only competitive races, and I don't think it's as long as LA Canyons is. This is that bridge out. I don't think it's as long as LA Canyons. Or if it might be close to so great. Oh shit. And again, yeah, it definitely needs some signage. Or it needs more. Look at how well the camber of the road is captured somehow in this scan. Like this is probably the most boring straight. Yeah, don't you dare, horsey. Don't you run in front of me. Oh, that's so many horses. These elevation changes are what make this a more interesting straightaway than it might seem. It's pretty. And then this fast. Again, more signage will definitely have to be had, otherwise you'll just fly right off the end. But this can be done really potentially very fast by a better driver than I. Potentially very fast because it'll have, girders. Better camber and certainly better grip. This is not the grippiest vehicle in the world. Car with good grip, traction control. Capable driver. Turns this into quite the... I really hope that this can work and get some no hesitate people to do some play testing. Of course, add AI lines, support for good map. And of course, right at the, hopefully, fingers crossed, right at the end of life for Assetto Corsa. And I really hope Evo will supplant it. Creating platforms is where it's at. I feel like apps themselves are about to be a solved problem where what you used to go to an app store to get, find me a solution for an app store is essentially a platform, right? It's iOS is a platform, and app stores. All right, I'm going to business school here. Just how I see things. I'm not necessarily saying it's the truth, but it's how I see things based on what's happened and what's happening and what's likely to happen next. So Apple built a platform. Microsoft builds a platform. With Windows, but also Microsoft Flight Simulator, right, as a platform. Assetto Corsa is a platform. And people who aren't the people who make the platform make products for it. That's Waterville. So again, this should be a forest. And it's funny because some trees are standing and others are falling through the terrain. So you can see the error of its ways. But this right here is great. And so I love LA Canyons, not to knock it. Or even, Sierra DeCadiz. They're terrific, especially Sierra, which is a mix of that's what I like about Sierra so much and why I spend so much time on it is there are roads that are you just flat out race. And there's, AI's not great AI support, but AI support for it, for one of the major circuits. And at that signs and things here, balloons and spectators and whatnot. But you know, even in this flatness, there's the town. There's, you can't really see it from here, but you will in a set of courses. You can start to see them come in and out. The power lines from Cooley, from Grand Cooley. Stretching across the Palouse. And I think you catch a little air off one of these. I remember copping air off one of them. Maybe in the cross cart. And this is, again, another here. So just as you're like, oh yeah, I got a good vibe going, it's like, oh, you gotta switch it up. So these are the, you can't see the wires, right? In the set of course, so you can see the wires. It does a really good job of that. So you see these high tension wires and multiple towers stretching across the landscape. And they connect. These are the same ones that you'll see when we climb Badger Mountain Road. Okay, so flatness, Palouse, and now we descend into the Columbia River Valley through this absolutely legendary Route 2 back into the canyons, right? On this just glorious fast hairpin. Wide shoulders. Even in LA Canyon, there's not great turns like that. LA Canyon's mostly stuff like this. Cliffs and curves. My favorite dinos. And I love all the turnouts. I feel like some of these turnouts are long enough we can actually be passing zones. And I will not put this house here. There's a lot of these in LA Canyons, a lot of those cutouts. That was, what a save. Whoa, that was so unfair. yourself with a Sobo, whoever you guys are. 3, 2, 1. Wow. I'm just gonna go over the river here. I often come off that and I jump right over the road and land in the other side. Anyway, so no trees in the road, fully functional bridge. You're just coming down here like a bat out of hell and into this Columbia River gorge here. It's just super cool. And then again, signage, hay bales. And you just take this nicely cambered turn. Crunch. Alright, let's try that again. And again, these are trees that have fallen through the terrain. Oh, the more I see it, I can't unsee how broken this game is. These are all trees. I have turned off all bushes. Anyway. Oh, so here's my quandary. I leave this open, but it's wrong way. Right? So the road actually does this. And it's a left-hand turn. So I gotta put something there. So when there's traffic, if there's no traffic, you can just hop, skip in the lane and take this, and it's nicely cambered, and you just go fast. But if there is traffic, like maybe just leaving it bouncy like this, maybe like leaving it dirt, might be dirt with a little bit of stank in there, some maybe not collidable objects, but some objects that at least hide the fact that you're off-roading. And then it's this flat out. So you come down out of that ravine into the gorge, and Columbia River in the face. And that's Lincoln Rock right down there. And so again, you've got this pedal to the metal. And so just as you're like it and like, oh, and there's no challenge. And then there's enough of a curve and enough of maybe I add a chicane. One of the things I like is in that section specifically, once you come out of a rondo, before you get here, like once this curvy stuff starts, it's and there's and these are all apple orchards, so you don't need apple trees with apples in them. Up here, up ahead, right here, in fact, I think, maybe not here, but up ahead, there's a roundabout. So maybe I add more roundabouts at some logical places and do some upgrades to the road. But once you're here, once you've got these turns, especially where there's guardrails and water, these were all pink last week. But the point is that you don't break up the driving and make it Le Mans, more Le Mans for these flat outs, for these straightaways. Le Mans is a thing. People love Le Mans. It's a particular type of driving. I think here is up here as well. That's a big building. But also, when there's cars on the road, the real trick is there's so much work involved, right? But I'm really excited because Blender just added MCP support, Model Context Protocol. And I just hooked it up with codecs. See more of those. Those are easy peasy. And there's plenty of places where roundabout like that can go. And I hooked it up on my Mac, on my MacBook Air, and I asked codecs to replace the cube, the opening cube in Blender with a sphere, and it boom did it. So and the example I was watching, it's like everything that you can do in Blender, it can do in Blender now. They don't suggest having AI build models for you. That's not anywhere on the Blender site does it suggest doing that, but it can. What they suggest it for. So this is the first turn. I don't want to build this bridge though. Whoa. And if I get it done, oh shoot. Look at that. You can see the triangle, the quads. Waste of my effort. Alright. Back to Badger Mountain. This Badger Mountain Road. This is not Badger Mountain. Wait, no, this is not, because there's another intersection. Anyway, there is a possibility of adding that other side. There's more roads that could be connected if I end up completing this. For my class, I don't have to. Come on, baby. Either fall through or get up. Pretty cool truck, huh? That little road right here. So the road goes like this. I could add this as a quote-unquote shortcut. Is it shorter? I don't know. I don't think so. But if someone wants to try, pretty cool. This is more of a steep hill. It is shorter. Go through this little neighborhood. I think the other way. So the difference is going like this, and then there's this intersection, comes around like this, and then so I think it's faster just because it's good flow and there's less flow here. One sharp right, another sharp right, and a hairpin, whereas this is all one sharp right and a much lesser hairpin and wider road to do it on. Go through the neighborhood. Yeah, make sure to reduce visibility so that it's technically shorter, but you gotta cut back into traffic. So if you're racing someone and you think you shorted it, you have to, they can T-bone you as you're getting back onto the road. There's a fence here in real life. It's just so dramatic. The scenery is. It's not like this is a 4-lane highway. And this is that line of power. Power lines that we see on the other side of the Palouse. It's really dramatic scenery. I love it. I would add some of these smaller single track road or less developed roads. Very few of them go through. Whoa. There's no trees here. A lot of shrubs, but no trees. Yeah, so could add some of these smaller roads, but they're more for the transmission, the power lines. But very few of them go through. They just kind of end. This one goes through, but it's not a shortcut by any means. That one. Let's follow that one. See how that goes. I do not see the road. Oh, you know, because we're not anywhere near it. Anyway, and then we'll make the transition to Evo, and I really hope that I hope that Evo will have a fair. So back to what I was talking about with platforms. So a set of courses is a platform, but it doesn't have its own store, right? There's no store. Patreon is the store. Pirate sites are the store. One of the things that has made a set of courses such a popular platform is that there hasn't been a store. Yeah, so this is a forest, and that's the reason there's no road, is because the canopy absolutely covers the road. And so you don't get any texture data physical plants until the canopy opens and then that road again. That's so pretty. But I could see adding this. I don't see it as being anywhere near anywhere. This is more of a rally. More of a rally road. I don't even think this is drivable here in SFS. Boy, getting rid of bushes really helps, though. Whoa. Whoa. Yuck. Yuck. Good rally road, though. Well, I'm going to go do something with my life other than... Honestly, I should have a rest day. Very much a rally road, not a shortcut at all. Oh, goodness. Ugh. Yug. There we go. Getting out of it. Oh, look at that. Oops. Breadbasket, Washington State. Oops. The problem is this comes out on the wrong side of water. I don't really want to have to get into modeling Waterville. It's enough to have to figure out Wenatchee. is how to do different lines, passing lines, how to mix passing and no passing lines on tractors. Whoa, rip. These are those power lines. But I don't think this is a different road. This goes much further up Route 2 than to go before we're snapping our fingers and computers and building virtual worlds for us, but closer than we've ever been before. Or more, this is cool. Building us models, closer models to our actual world. The actual world. What even is the actual world, man? Like the sky. I know it's not realistic, but whoa, get me down here. East. Oh gosh, we're going east. I would love to just have forever roads like this. Unfortunately, the set of course doesn't really handle them. Because you can't just have like really long horizons like that without having zillions of faces. I would find it hard to drive on these. I grew up in Indiana, which is all like even flatter roads than this. I'm going away from the highway. That's not good. Away from the water, I mean. To Chelan. Okay, so I take 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth right. In my head, I still know exactly what this gravel road sounds like. Ooh, yeah. enough room for a combine. A long way away. Even at 140 miles an hour. Like an 8-story building out in the middle of nowhere. The transmission station. Stations where they massage the power there. So don't do a lot of power. With the electricity grid. That's not bad. Yikes. Okay, I'm tired.